Max, mate. You know me, pal. No, it's still loading.
Dirty bitch.
Oh, mate. No, press 5-2. Look through. Yeah.
Ah, alright, okay.
Right, Discord. Cobb. What's that name? Fury. Cobb. J. Dan. Liam, are you there?
Don't think he is.
He's just joined the lobby on this. Oh, you fucking spastic! No.
Don't call me a fucking spastic. I'll drop kick you, you fucking sly looking lanky ass prick.
Oh, fine, okay. Run 100 litres then.
I was gonna have to anyway, because I'm a reserve.
No, you're not. This is your third race in a row, so.
Oh.
I was gonna say you don't have to, but fuck you. Nah, you've got to.
Fuck off, I'm still not going to. I'm not running 100 litres now, fuck yeah. Said it now.
Should be like.
The only reason you're saying that now is because you couldn't think of a response back, because I outdid you.
No, I was gonna say that you don't have to run 100 litres, but fuck you. You wanna drop kick me as a lanky piece of shit?
Yeah.
I'm still going to, so I mean.
What, run 100 litres?
No.
But they're the rules.
Well, you've changed your mind now.
Yeah. Anybody who comes in as a filler's got to run 100 litres of fuel. But because this is Liam's third race in a... Just so that then, like Andy last week came in, and it's ballast. It's what they do at touring cars in real life as well. If someone has to fill in for a race, they have to run maximum ballast. So... Right, I'm going to be joining Jamie. I'll chat to you guys in a bit.
No, you won't.
Shut up, Liam. It's because you're in love with Auntie Rachel.
Oh, fuck.
What time is it? I've got time to go for a wee. Right, I'm back very quickly.
Jesus Christ, that was quick.
Stand-ins. I didn't go for a piss. I went popped in game chat a second. I am just going to, however, quickly just for the guys in the Discord, pop the tables on.
Literally, after I messaged you saying I was strike, literally it just chucked it down straight after half-halves.
Right, 2 secs.
Right.
This is it. This is the championship decider. I wonder what's going on in the mind here of James Thompson. He's keeping a close eye on Ivan Muller. Muller ignoring Thompson and looking at the start lines, which is an interesting one. We're all set to go. The feature race will decide the outcome of the title, and it's Andy Brio from pole position who gets away well. James Thompson drops in behind Muller. In fact, Morrison gets ahead of him as well. So it is Andy Brio ahead of Matt Neal. Muller up into third place. Then it's Alan Morrison. James Thompson down into fifth place.
Stop pausing it.
But don't forget, he does have that 10-point advantage coming into this race.
Well, my gut feeling this time round is it's an intentional ploy to stay behind and just to track Muller. But unlike the first time, where he definitely made a mistake.
Let's just take a look at that start again. You can see from the overhead that Thompson on the outside of the second row really doesn't get a
Christ, Donington looks different.
Does, doesn't it?
I'm watching the touring cars put up the last time they raced on the GP set, on the GP loop. It was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That was the season finale, Thompson versus Muller.
Right, so... Who are we missing at the minute? John Boyd's in. So Fury in, Cobb in, Jay in, Dan in, Nick the Villa in, Smokey.
Smokey is...
No go at the minute. Craig E, yes.
No
Gary,
Mazda.
yes. Mazda's fine, I know about that because he's obviously decorating his new house and stuff.
Yes.
Welshie in. Monkey Boy, not here tonight, Liam's got his place. Bryn, no. Lucas Roth, yes. DJ Phil, no. And that is also Mazda, Smokey, Phil, and Bryn.
Yep.
They are the four that we're missing, right?
Yep. Two trips to Donington next season.
Fucking damn right, Jamie. One will be absolutely scorching.
Yeah. 3 touring car trips for me next season.
Yeah, I'm going to try and make a couple more.
I said to Katie, oh, do you want to go to Donington next season? She went, yeah. Okay, alright. Which one?
I'll hopefully be trying to do both, else it just depends if I get work or anything.
Yeah.
You never know, I might be commentating it, so I might be there tomorrow. That'd be nice. Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport, here for your weekly action of the touring cars. I'm Matthew Duffin in the commentary box tonight. As always on a Tuesday night is my co-commentator Jamie Brazier. Jamie, how are we?
I'm very well, thank you, Matt. How are you?
Very good. After today's news of the real-life touring cars being at Donington Park twice next year, it is a fascinating thing to see. And then to be there in the middle of the summer, I'll no longer have to take the electric heater in the tent with me. I'll be able to take my shorts.
Yeah. Better take plenty of ice cream to us as well.
Exactly. But we're not at my local circuit. We're at your local circuit tonight, Jamie. The Snetterton 300 layout here for the Simplay drivers tonight, and Smoky Devil's just got in, so we do have 13 out of the 16 drivers with us on the grid when Smoky gets in the session, as he does do just now. And Jamie, changeable conditions is the best way to describe tonight. Snetterton's a tricky circuit when it's dry. If we do get a bit of rain, it's going to make it even trickier.
Yes, it is a tricky circuit. In the dryness, even trickier in the wet, so we haven't really seen this circuit too much in the wet in touring cars. The only time I can think of it being in the wet was 2018, where that we had that great battle between Jack Goff and Ash Sutton.
For these drivers though tonight, Jamie, what is Snetterton about? What have they got to get right here, and what can they not afford to get wrong?
They can't. That corner John Boy's just gone through now. You can't afford to get that wrong, because down the Bentley Straight you cannot afford a bad exit at all. Because say that would be a slipstream battle all the way to Brundle and Nelson, and so that's a tricky place to pass. There's quite a few challenging corners on this track. So through here as well, you don't want to clip that sausage curb as John Boy slides it through there. That's not what you want to do when he's out in the weeds.
As we come here then for rounds 9 and 10 of the season, we're getting closer to that not-kill shootout for the championship, and the championship is getting ever so closer. I say closer, it's probably the most spread out between the top 4 it's been since we've started this series. 20 points, 25 points cover the top 5 now as Fury leads the way from Cobb. It was 6 points at the end of last week. It's now 3 after Fury received a penalty and had to drop back several positions. Cobb's in second then with Jay in WSRCJ in third place, 11 points behind. First of all, we need to check if Fury, Cobb, Jay and Dan do have their 100 litres in for qualifying. Dan does. Fury does. Cobb does. And just Jay, he does as well. Jay then bringing up for third place with Dan, 20 points behind him, fourth, yet to win in the Astra. We've had the BMW win and we've had a Megane win. We're yet to have a Mercedes or a Astra win. Nick the Villa is in P5 on 99 points, 25 off the lead. Smokey Devil up in 6th place, having a good season at the minute. He's just ahead by 9 points of Craigie, who had a better outing last week at Alton Park. Gary, after taking his first win, nearly back-to-back wins, nearly the London Buses, is 50 points off the lead, 3 points clear of John Boy, who's in 9th, with Amplava up to 10th. Mazda drops to 11th. Welshie getting into that top 12, and he'll be looking forward for that because that'll put him in the seat for not kill. Monkey Boy down in 13th with Bryn 14th. Lucas Roth 15th, DJ Phil 16th, Andy in 17th, and that Bozzy Boy rounding out the top 18 places then. And with 216 points still left up for grabs, it's anybody's game still at the minute, Jamie.
Yeah, it is anybody's game still at the minute, but the points are starting to dwindle away, and so if people are going to make a charge, they need to make a charge now.
Indeed, they do then as we come into this session. 6 minutes left of qualifying, and as you can see, it is a very, very long lap here as it's nearly 2 minutes a lap. The session's pretty much halfway done, and we've not seen a lap time posted, Jamie.
Yeah, so it's just short of 3 miles long, so it's the longest track that we come to. It used to be one of the shortest. It
did used to be. As we say good evening to Mother Davis in the chat, we also say hello to Welshie and Fury's granddad Tony in the chat as well. A bit quiet in the chat, so let's hear from you. Pole is out through. You think will take pole position. That'll close with 2.5 minutes left to go. And as you see, times of 1:55 starting to be pumped in. So Cobb's got to go again here. He's well off the pace at the minute. Jay to the line. He's off the pace, as is Amplava just behind him. And it's Nick the Villa currently out on pole, 700ths of a second off of John Boy. But we have to talk about this man, Jamie. You've just gone on board him. The king of Snetterton, I think we're going to call him. Every time he's here, no matter what car he's in, this guy is quick. It's also his home circuit.
It is his home circuit. Every time we see him in the touring cars, he's very quick around here. Even in the GT3s, he's quick around here. He's only 8th at the minute though, so he's made a mistake on this. He'll get probably 2, maybe 3 more runs at this. I'd say probably 2. But yeah, he's got to be the hot favourite for tonight. At the minute, Fury's quickest with a 55.2, so he's 4 tenths quicker than Nick the Villa.
So that's interesting for him. That Bozzy Boy and Craig not yet out there. I think Craig's just come out the pit lane. But this man, Jamie, is that rain? Was that a spot of rain on the camera? I think it's starting to rain here. So for Smokey, Craig, in fact, Smokey's just got a lap time in. No, Lucas Ross just got a lap time in. He's gone 5th. For Smokey, Bozzy Boy and Craig, qualifying could be done early for them then, as at the minute, Gary's got to hurry up and open. Pray that this track doesn't get too wet as the rain starts to fall here. This favours the BMW a little more, surely.
Yeah, he's got traffic though. I think that is Welshie in front as he's now going to come through Williams. He should though get the slipstream of the Megane, but Welshie's just run a little bit wide and he's going to keep out of the way. So Gary's not going to get that slipstream, but yeah, Gary might not be able to get pole position here.
Might not be able to. We'll have to see what happens as this continues. The spray's not kicking up yet. He's 9 seconds up on his Delta, so really flying at the minute is Gary. Bozzy Boyce just came out the pits, so for him, he's not going to get a quicker lap time in. Him and Craig might start to struggle, but Craig was out the pits a long time before that Bozzy Boy. We'll stick with Gary though for the minute as he comes through the bomb hole into Coram now, and that is Cobb back in the pits, and that could be Cobb session done.
Yeah, but look at the spray on the circuit. He's gone deep. say, look at the track already.
Yeah, it's wet. It's wet. The track is wet. So for the guys who slow on a lap, Jay's now in the pits as well. Gary then, has he got the lap in when he needed to? Craig's not going to set a lap time here. Gary to the line goes 9.7 quicker. It's only 5th, 6/10 off the back of Fury. But Jamie, the track's just starting to get wet, and you're starting to see a lot of drivers now come into the pit lane.
Yeah, you are. The only person I think who's improved a lot, well, apart from Gary, is Dan. He was a second off at the time, so he's now 2/10 of Fury, only a couple of hundredths off John Boy. Have we got anyone coming to the line? There's someone coming round bomb hole now, which is Smokey. He's all sideways. Liam's got a grid place penalty.
Yeah, I was about to say, Liam sped out the pit lane. He's come charging out to get a lap time in. Now Craig's just got a penalty. So Liam won't be starting at the back. Craig will be.
Yeah, they'll both be starting at the back.
It's getting wet. It is getting wet.
Fury's bailed, Gary's bailed, Lucas Ross bailed, Welshie's bailed. Smokey, can he improve? I don't think he will.
He does, yeah. Goes above Welshie. So a good lap from Smokey Devil there then. Where's John Boy and Dan? And Plovers coming into Brundle and Nelson. It's Dan coming through Coram now. So does that mean John Boy's just in front? John Boy exits the final corner. Here comes John Boy. That is Nick the Villa in the background. Nick the Villa also fighting for that pole position lap. Here comes John Boy to the line. No improvement. We've lost Smokey Devil. Hopefully we can get him back in. Nick the Villa to the line. He can't improve on his time. What about Dan? Dan was also coming to the line. Can he improve on his lap time? 2/10 for a pole position in the Astra. What's he going to do as he gets to it? No improvement. So Jamie, I think that is qualifying done, and Fury, the championship leader, looks like he strikes with an early pole position.
Yeah, he does. And Plovers now coming to pits, gets it slowed down in time. Who next person is Oggies? They're a long way off. Who might that be? That might be Craig. That is just Craig. He's slipping and sliding his way around the track.
Yeah, drifting through Williams and onto the Bentley straight he goes, and 0.6 of a second cover the top 6. But at this moment in time, it is not good enough for any improvement here. Although for Craig, it will put him ahead of that Bozzy Boy, which will mean that Bozzy Boy needs to set a lap so that he's not starting last. Smokey Devil hopefully can get back in the session with 43 seconds left.
Yeah, hopefully he can. Even if Craig sets a lap time, he might, because he'll be setting it on a drier track than Liam, because he's come round before Liam. He might be that little bit quicker. That corner Coram, such a difficult corner in the dry, and it's even harder in the wet. Seeing them drift it round there as he comes through Murray's down onto the centre straight. The centre straight isn't actually flat. Say, I've stood in it before, and it's actually uphill.
Just a slight bit. Do you remember what happened on the centre straight? Hunter Abbott and his Power Max Chevrolet rolling and taking out the ITV cameraman as they come through the first corner then of Riches towards the Wilson hairpin. And that is Bozzy Boy going straight on.
Yeah.
And has got his braking horribly wrong there. Evening to PN Motorsport in the chat.
Yeah, who have we got first? Dan's just slid wide. Is that Welsh? No, there's a car in front. That looks like Gary. So Gary has come back out. He's gone wide. He's not going to improve anyway because of wet. Because of it being wet. Maybe he's just checking the wet tyres. Welshie, is he going to come? Is going to come to the line? Nope, he's pitting as well. That is.
So everybody just maybe getting some wet running in under their belts.
Yeah.
And testing the wet tyres because they're all bailing to the pits. Here's Dan. Even Dan's bailing to the pits. So, Jamie, a lot of cars deciding to bail. That Bozzy Boy, the only man who didn't set the time. Can we get Smokey back in at the end? Here's Lucas Roth.
Yeah, Lucas Roth. So is he just going to bail in as well? I expect so. I think Craig is the only person left up until this. Lucas Roth now comes into the pit lane.
Yeah, so he bails as well. It's just Craigie then. This gives Smokey Devil a little more of an opportunity to get himself a possibility of getting back out on track, or getting back into the session, should I say.
Yeah, Craig's 3 seconds up here. He's not going to improve on position, but it'll improve his time. And to be honest, he's got probably got the most experience of this track in the wet, because he's the only one out there at the minute. So all the others are in the pit, so he's going to have that little bit more knowledge when it comes.
Yeah, know where the puddles might start to form and know what's happening where and when. It depends on who's done the best, sort of the most testing in the week to see where the puddles are, and it's going to be interesting as then Craigie comes to the line. He's not going to improve on his time. He does actually improve on his time. He goes from 12 seconds behind to 9 seconds behind, but it is then Fury who takes that first extra point of tonight and grabs it. It's Fury from John Boy with Dan in P3, and a good chance, the best chance he's probably been since Brands Hatch Indy, of a race win. Nick the Villa from Gary, watch for his lightning starts at the beginning. Jay from Cobb and Plava, Lucas Roth. Welshie rounding out the top 10 from Craigie and that Bozzy Boy. I don't believe Smoky Devil got back in, so he will miss race 1. And what that does mean for Fury is that is his first touring car pole position of the season, and that puts him on 12 pole positions with his teammate for the Teletubby Motorsport, Mazda. And after his decent audition on Britain's Got Talent this weekend, can Fury convert this into a win?
Yeah, so the only thing we can say, Gary starting back there, it's a tight grid. So we talked about the Hunter Abbott incident. So it's a tight grid. So if Gary gets a decent start, which he will, he might have nowhere to go. He might get a bit blocked.
Indeed he will. Jamie, your tip for the first race?
I'm going to say Gary.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go Gary as well. But can Dan in his Astra get this first win?
He might be able to. I just think Gary's just going to be too much for him. But then again, we know Gary can make a mistake.
We do know Gary can make a mistake, and Snetterton, after today's announcement to the calendar, has been moved to the third race of the season for next year, and it will be at the end of May. Well, it's the end of May now, and we're here for Simplay Motorsports as if they're looking at our schedule.
Yeah, as if they are. As if they're trying to please me. Say going to Donington round 1, going to Snetterton round 3, and then end of the season Donington.
It's full of mystery, and we'll have to wait and see what happens in this one then this evening. Smoky Devil's got back in, but it is just a little too late for him for race 1, so we'll be able to go again in race 2. As we're getting ready to go here, Jamie, the 3 red lights are on. It's green and go. Fury didn't get a great start compared to John Boy, who gets off the line blisteringly quick. But look at the yellow BMW of Gary 131, who immediately tucks to the outside of Riches for Fury and John Boy. In fact, he's in the lead before Riches of John Boy and Fury. And we said the king of Snetterton is in the lead by turn 1. Fury from John Boy, Dan all down a place because Gary 131 and Dan a do or die dive and just clips the back of John Boy. No harm done there though when we all look relatively clean through at the start. Welshie and Lucas Roth though, the 2 Scotsmen, dropping to 11th and 12th.
Yeah, they are. Gary went a little bit wide coming through Palmer's. Dan's gone wide. Is this going to present a chance for Nick the Villa? No, he's not close enough.
That Bozzy Boy was a little wide as well there, and I don't think he's lost out. He has now to Welshie, so Bozzy Boy dropping down the pack as we see Jay and Plava and Cobb. Jay, though, has spanned the car. I think he's managed to hold on to it, but that's gave Cobb and Craigie a couple of places there as Jay and then Plava got held out. Jay, I think, he's still on the grass. He's now lost out to Welshie, and Cobb needs to get on with this to get out after the back of Fury. As you can see, though, John Boy still hassling the back of him. Craigie hassling the back of Cobb with Plava and Welshie, and Jay drifting through Oggies there as they come towards Williams. Jay struggling with that weight early on. Then McGann in the rain. This is the first time, Jamie, we're getting to see what the weight will do in these wet conditions.
Yeah, we are. Gary has already got 1 second lead. So he comes into the Brundle Nelson's section.
And he comes as John Boy right on the back of Fury, and Fury cannot afford a mistake. Dan has got Nick the Villa for company, and Dan, Jamie, just running a little wide on a couple of exit corners here. Not enough for track limits, but enough to just get a poor run out the corner and slow the car down on his escape. Through Coram they come for the first time now, and Jay is now dead last.
Yeah, he's made a mistake. Liam has dropped right off the back of Welshie as well, and Lucas Roth is right off.
In fact, that's one thing we didn't check. Jay, Cobb, Fury and Dan's fuel.
Yeah, Jay sideways coming through there. Cobb on 100 litres. Fury's lost out to John Boy.
Fury has lost out to John Boy. And what about Dan? Dan looks like he's got a run on him. Is he going to look up the inside and think of sending one into Richie's? Not there, he doesn't. So where did Fury lose out? It had to be through Coram into maybe Murray's. And Dan then just losing out a bit of time to Fury. But does he think of sending one into the hairpin? No, he doesn't. Here comes Nick the Villa, though, who just clouts Dan up the rear. And that just pushing Dan a little bit. But Nick the Villa says, no, I won't get past. But Cobb really trying to pounce on that mistake from Nick the Villa. And they both touched doors as well. And Cobb up to 5th place was Fury loses a place. His closest championship rival gains one.
Yeah, he does. Oh, who was that running? Well, that was Emblava just running like. What people need to do here is start using what's known as the karting line. Take a wide exit. They're all really tight to the corner, but you say watching touring cars, how in the wet they take a wide line and get a better exit. A clear waves is a perfect example, and Agostini's another example where you can go wide and get a better exit.
And Dan here, sort of on the back of Fury, but just becoming a little mobile chicane is unorthodox. And I had a message off of Cobb today. His dad watches the stream, so if his dad is watching, a very good evening to you. Can we start calling him Tom? That's his real name. Cobb was a nickname when he was 14 years old. He's now 34. Might be a bit too old for the nickname Cobb. So Tom is currently P5 and under pressure then from Nick the Villa, but coming into Brundle and Nelson gets that one done. PlayStation decided to turn itself off. Why disconnections at Smoky Devil? He should be back for race 2 and will be able to qualify. Top 6 can't qualify, seeing as there was only 12 starters in this race. And Jay, the biggest loser out of them all, he's 26 seconds off the back. But look at this fight. Cobb in the background is Craig, Nick the Villa and Plava. But this is Cobb, Dan and Fury. 3 of the drivers on 100 litres of fuel, really battling it out at the moment.
Yeah, they are. So none of them want to get offline because they know as soon as one gets up the inside, they'll get hung out to dry.
Look at the difference in the lap times. The man out front lapping in the 201s. These boys, 203s, 204s. Gary absolutely flying. Cobb's gone a little deep though at Richie's. No pressure from behind from Nick the Villa at the moment, but it's compromised his run on unorthodox as Nick the Villa now comes into the braking zone at Wilson and can't get that one done. Used to be Montreal, if I'm right.
Yeah, it used to be Montreal. It's named Wilson, I believe, after Justin Wilson, who passed away.
And of course, the other feature at Snetterton, no scary tree anymore.
Yeah, no scary tree.
You knew 2020 was going to be a bad year when that blew over, and they had to take it down. It was just terrible news before the big news, obviously, that came. The touring cars was postponed and pushed back for a silly virus. But either way, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Cobb getting right on the back of Dan. It looked out front. Not Clay's getting closer. Dan, even in the wet, is Nick the Villa on a lot of curb. Can't do anything about it. And Craigie sitting and watching and waiting patiently. Look at the corner speed Craigie's got over Nick the Villa as they come through Oggies in towards Williams now. Dan is under some immense pressure from Cobb up front. And this will put Cobb on the back of Fury. And we're seeing even in the wet weather here and at Snetterton once again, Danny's got to drive that Astra inch perfect to get the best out of it.
Yeah, he has. I just want to point out as well, Jay is 43 seconds off the back. He's only coming through Agostini right now.
Yeah, he's had a bad time of it at this moment in time.
Yeah, all that's Emblava just getting a little wrong, Cobb's not going to have a look through to Murray's. Murray's is probably the one place on the circuit that you just cannot overtake unless you go side by side through Coram. But that move is never really on. No, it isn't at all. As John Boy starting to gap Fury a little bit, was a bit quicker on the last lap, and Gary had a bit of a slower lap than his last one last time round. But Jamie, this rain seems to just be yielding a little bit and starting to slow down as well. Cobb's now going to try and go to the outside at Rich's. Is he going to go for the cutback into Wilson? Dan got on the curb.
Cobb! Just taps the rear of Dan, manages to keep it out of the wall and keep it going. Loses out to Jay and now tries to get back ahead of Jay and does so.
He's got back in front of Nick the Villa and Craig.
Nick the Villa, apologies.
Craig then gives him a tap in the rear. He's going to try and go around the outside of Palmer. Again, that's not a move. But you can go try and get the cut back like we saw Sutton do last year to Turkington.
as DJ Phil gets in, so he'll be there for race 2 as well, so that'll be another one to be able to qualify. But at the minute, Jamie, it's Gary who has just gone from the rest of the pack. Fury starting to match the pace of John Boy, but then these boys are all kind of being held by that white Astra. The 0-1 Astra of Unorthodox is becoming a bit of a mobile chicane. Jay is having to pit. Now the rain seems to have stopped. Is Jay taking a huge gamble here?
But he's got absolutely nothing to lose. He's stone dead last. You might as well give it a go.
Indeed you may. What can Jay do then in the rest of this race? He's probably going to finish last, and he's probably going to come away from this one with no points. But for him, like you say, risk and reward maybe. Gary has a 4-second lead out front to John Boy. As that Buzzy Boy's had a moment.
Yeah,
I think he's trying to spin that one around. I think he's facing the wrong way, trying to spin it around, and has caught the wall. So for that Buzzy Boy, not a good start for him in this first race. He probably will outscore Jay. It's how quick in these last 12 minutes, Jamie, this track will drive for the slick tyre.
Yeah, so there's quite a few cars out on track, and they're all following each other quite closely. I think Gary's going to be praying that the track doesn't dry at all.
Yeah, Gary will be hoping that he can carry on his merry way and keep this gap that he's got. 2:02.5 for Gary. So the lap times, we've seen Gary in the 2:01s while it was wet. Gary's still not lapping any quicker than that. I suppose when we get into the 1:59s is where we'll see the time start to come down. And is that Cobb moving around trying to get ahead of Dan? Either way, they come through Riches. A huge slide for Craig E on the back of Jay. And once again, look, Cobb out front is on the back of Dan and trying to put the pressure on. And here comes Nick the Villa. And Dan is becoming a mobile chicane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 Megans, 1 Astra and 2 Mercedes-Benz, all trying to get past Unorthodox here.
Yeah, but say maybe, I was going to say, if Dan's listening, maybe he wants to just let Cobb by, but then if Cobb comes by, he might get everyone past. I think the Villa has a look, not really. Cobb could try and go all the way around the outside from here. There's Liam going slowly down the Bentley straight.
Yeah,
He's got the drive off the corner, but the straight's just long enough. Dan comes across to defend.
Indeed he is. Dan then really knows where to park this car and really knows what he needs to do in this race. And for Dan here, he's doing an absolute mega job in terms of his defending. But Cobb, the aggressor at the moment, just cannot seem to find a way through. But with this track drying, is that going to help the McGanns out, or is that going to help Dan out with the track drying a little bit? Does Dan play that risk game as well, Jamie, of I'm going to get to the end of this race on the wets? I think Liam's had a moment coming through Coram as Gary's about to come through the bomb hole now. And look at these boys, Craig E and Nick the Villa, 2 abreast here, and they're going to catch Cobb out under the brakes. Craig E, how's your nerve? Up a place, and a great job. Emplava, I think, taps the back of Nick the Villa. No dramas comes of that one though, and they carry on their merry way once again.
Yeah, Liam's managed to get it into the pit. Cobb couldn't get him done. Couldn't get Unorthodox done on the cutback through Rundle and Nelson.
Gary, 5.5 seconds ahead of John Boy. A 2:02.2 for Gary on the last lap. John Boy losing a bit of time, but he's gained a bit of time from Fury. Fury kind of sat in no man's land at the minute. He's not close enough to the back of John Boy. Liam sounds like he was coming out of the pits there as he was revving that car. Was that a change of tyres and maybe a bit of damage repaired? Here, though, comes Cobb. Liam's coming out into a fresh track of nobody. Keep your eyes on Jay's time. Did Jay change his tyres? That'll be the question. Keep your eyes on them. Lucas Roth and Welshie down to 9th and 10th, but Cobb to the outside of Wilson. Dan's going to make him go the long way around. And Dan, Jason Plato-esque, parks it on the apex and says, you want to pass me? You ain't cutting underneath. As he then tries to defend into Palmer's, and Cobb gets a run up the inside, and Dan to the outside of Palmer's just tries to squeeze Cobb a little bit. They both rub. Dan takes to the grass, and he'll be a bit unpleased with that one. Now they come to Agostini. It's about who's best on the brakes. Dan tries to cut underneath Cobb this time around, hits the puddle, and they both slide a little wide, and Craig E can't capitalise. Cobb now squeezes Dan through Agostini. They go towards Hamilton. Dan side by side with not Cobb but Craig through Hamilton's towards Oggies. Craig just over the curb, as was Cobb over the curb, and here comes Dan once again, tries to dive up the inside at Oggies. No, he can't, and receives a whack from Craig.
Yeah, Craig gave him a little tap up the inside. This reminds me of Plato and Sutton here back in 2019, going up the inside of him. Going up the inside, Trevor every corner. Craig tries to go to the inside, Dan's going to make him go to the outside. Nick the Villa had a portal run off the corner. But here
Here he comes. You've got to pour it off the corner, but here he comes trying to lunge at Craig because Craig's now got Dan. Dan has lost out massively to Cobb. Fury is really starting to lose out to John Boy on this lap. He's now over 2 seconds or just under 2 seconds behind John Boy. For Cobb, though, he can now hunt down after his championship rival, who he's 4 points behind at the moment. And for Dan, it's damage limitation at this minute. He might actually lose 100 litres of fuel.
Yeah, he might well lose 100 litres of fuel. Craig's going to try and look to run off the corner. No, he gets up on the 6 curve. That's not going to help him whatsoever.
Lucas Roth 5 seconds behind his dad, will be hunting him down, but it's Cobb, Dan, Craig, Nick the Villa and Plava just in the background on this little train. Dan now to the outside as they come towards Richie's for the 7th time, and Dan's looking round the outside. Can he get it tucked underneath for the Wilson hairpin? He's not, you know. He's going to try and go around the outside. Is he going to cut back? Cobb defends.
Here comes Craig up the inside. Cobb could shove Dan wide.
Oh, Craig and Dan, bit of a tap there, bit of contact made, and Craig is through.
Yeah, Craig is through. He got up the inside, muscled the Astra out of the way, and Nick the Villa's now doing the cover. Craig's on wide, can he keep it?
You look at the racing line, Jamie, by the way. The racing line, there's very little spray. The track is drying here. A lot of puddles, but the track is drying. Gary back in the 201s once again. Dan's got past Craig, so is Nick the Villa, and Plava's trying to. Dan is losing out to Cobb here, and Plava's side by side with Craig at the minute. And he's going to have that inside line for Hamilton's and goes deep and forces Craig even deeper, but Dan's gone deep.
Yeah, he doesn't lose a place to Nick the Villa, though. Oh, Craig's back up the inside of Plava.
And with 6 minutes 18 seconds remaining in this one, Gary is absolutely flying 7 seconds out front. Fury had a bit of a shocking lap last time around, and he's now only 4 seconds up the road from Cobb, who's managed to just break away from Dan. This is why he's broke away from Dan. Nick the Villa on the outside at the Bentley Straight in towards Brundle and Nelson is going to get the job done and just cuts in front of Dan under the brakes there, and Dan somehow doesn't make contact with Nick the Villa, and Dan gets back through. Great move.
Yeah, that was a brilliant move. Nick the Villa knew Dan was not going to give him any room whatsoever, so back that a bit. Dan now gets onto the grass. He's gone wide. Nick the Villa's going to have a look down the inside of the corner. That's not the place you want to look. But
no, he's had to back out of that. You saw Craig even having to dab on the brakes just so he didn't go into the back of Nick the Villa then. Down the start straight they come. Nick the Villa doesn't get a great run out to Murray's, and now here comes Craig E once again. Jay's got past Liam in the background. Jay lapping in the 204, so I don't think he put the slick tyres on. Gary a 201 once again, and these boys, Cobb's in the 202s, as is Fury, so they're on a charge. Fury may be trying to have a late lunch to get back ahead of John Boy. Nick the Villa though has got past Dan, and Dan could lose out to Craig E or Plava. Plava looking up the inside of Craig. Is he going to look up the inside of Dan? They try and stop into the hairpin, and then Plava taps Dan up the rear, and Dan is a battering ram in the middle of this pack.
Yeah, Dan, every time you go through that corner, just gets a little tap up the rear, and Plava's backed out of it, but he's going to try around the outside.
He's gone wide.
Yeah, he's gone wide. However, he is going to be on the outside for Agostini. This might be the better line. I think Craig's going to have that inside. He goes deep, and he taps down as well. And here comes Plava. That's a pair of them.
I think Dan went a little deep there as well. And Plava, thank you, Mama, for the carrots. Job done. If you're the Latvian, who then just taps Dan a little deep at Palmer's as well, Hamilton's as well. And Dan will have to yield that time on the grass. As Plava now round the outside. Job done. Dan now down to 7th place and is losing out to his championship rivals, Jay. And at the minute, you have to say Gary has gone. And it could be a Gary John Boy Fury top 3 in this race, but Cobb is going to make sure he tries to hunt Fury down at the end of this one. Craig, here he comes on the back of Dan, and the Astra's just got no straight line speed.
Yeah, it's got absolutely no straight line speed. Maybe it's 100 litres, but say Craig on the inside. Dan's going to try and hold it around the outside. He does so. Can he get it stopped? He does. Can Craig get up the inside? No.
No, he can't. Sooty in the chat. Gary has checked out. Indeed, Gary has checked out. 16 people currently watching the stream. Guys, girls, hit that thumbs up button if you like what you see here. Subscribe if you're new and hit the bell to be notified, as we've got 3.5 minutes left of this race. Gary now, lap times in the 2 minutes. So the times, Jamie, the track is drying and just starting to come to the drivers a little bit more. Dan, though, under pressure. We said, would it be a risk reward if Dan doesn't pit and everybody else does? Nobody seems to be pitting at the moment.
No one does seem to be pitting. Dan seems to just be getting mugged. But he's going to have a look down the inside of Plava, who don't.
Oh! runs Emplava a little wide there, and Dan, slowing down to let Emplava through, has invited Craig E past. Dan knows he's at fault. And you have to say fair play to Dan in a championship fight. What he doesn't want is a penalty, and he lets Emplava back through. But at what cost, Jamie?
Yeah, at what cost? So fair enough, he's let him back through. Now Nick de Villa's run wide, and Craig gets up the inside.
He does, as Nick de Villa still wide at Palmer's. Dan then has got to get back onto the back of these two. When Plava will want to get on the back of these two. Craig up the inside. P5, job done. Fury to Cobb is now 2 seconds. Fury a 2:04.9 last lap. Cobb took some 2.6 seconds out of Fury last time around, and with 2.5 minutes to go, there's enough time for at least another lap after this one. So you have to say for Fury, he cannot afford to make too many mistakes because Cobb's coming.
Yeah, as well. Lucas Roth is in the pits. This might give another position to Jay.
I think Lucas Roth here might be going slick tyre. Maybe nick an extra point for fastest lap. Was behind Welshie anyway. Bozzy Boy has now had a moment. Who's that behind him? I think that is John Boy in second place. It is John Boy in second place. So Liam will want to make sure he gets out the way there. But for Cobb, he is now 1.9. In fact, he's a second off the back of Fury. 8/10 is the gap to Fury. Cobb is coming here, and his championship rival in front of him can see him coming.
Yeah, although these two don't want to make contact because look, he's coming around corner. Fury goes a little bit wide. This is going to go.
He's got a run. Look at the run Cobb's got. Liam, time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And look at the run Cobb's got. Cobb has already got past Fury here then. And Cobb, job done. 21 people now watching the stream. 7 likes. Guys, girls, hit that thumbs up button if you enjoy what you're seeing here. Cobb then up into P3 and Fury loses out on a podium. PN, you can definitely see the dry line, he says.
Yeah, you can see. Looking at the track, it's dry. If the race was going for another 5 minutes, I'd be stopping for dries. Plava's now attacking the back of Nick de Villa as we're going on to the last lap. Where's Gary? Gary is coming through Oggies.
Yeah, Keegs has been lapped by Gary, so that's not what Keegs would have wanted. Keegs would have wanted a clean lap then to be able to maybe put in a fast time. He's not going to be able to do that on his out lap as Fury then trying to attack the back of Cobb once again. Where is Emplava? He was on the back of Nick de Villa. Let's go to him. He's still on the back of Nick de Villa.
He's really struggling. He's just dropped us. He was right on the back of him coming through wheels, and he's just dropped right off the back.
Yeah, looking slow then as Emplava towards Oggies is Gary. Oh, just gets Brundle and Nelson wrong, but when you got a 13-second lead, you can afford to make the odd mistake or two. Gary then towards this line as he comes through the bomb hole and now into Coram. Gary for back-to-back race wins. It could have been back-to-back-to-back, but the London buses for Gary 131. The king of Snetterton is doing it again, Jamie, as he comes into Murray's now. It's another race win in the touring cars. It's another race win for Gary 131, and this man's building in his confidence back in his BMW. Gary 131 then will take the first win of the night in dominant fashion.
Yeah, that's absolutely dominant from Gary. Lucas Roth comes across the line for 10th. Whereabouts is John Boyd? John Boyd is now coming down the pit straight. He comes across the line for second. He's had decent pace. 2 minutes.
Yeah,
just been less than a second off.
Good pace from him. Cobb, though, managed to get past Fury after he'd been stuck behind Dan for a while to take that P3. Fury will take 4th place. Craigie, another solid result for him for a 5th. Nick de Villa, a good result for him to take a P6. P7 for Emplava. That'll frustrate Dan, who comes only home in P8. And for Welshie, it's a long old wait for P9 because he is well in front to Lucas Roth, who's finished a lap down. Jay, only 11th place. Work to do for Jay, and for that Bozzy Boy, not what he would have wanted, but 12th in the end.
Yeah, not what he would have wanted, but for Dan and Jay, they lose the 100 litres. They lose the 100 litres to an X-race, so it might swing back in their favour.
Yeah, might benefit them. We'll have to wait and see as we just await for Jay to cross line, and that Bozzy Boy, who's had another moment coming into Murray's and seems to be struggling in that Megane at the minute. But with 189 points left up for grabs again, the championship is down to 2 points. But for Dan and Jay and Nick the Villa, they're slowly dropping off as Liam's not even going to get to the line here. And we await then the fastest lap. I have a feeling Gary, the only man in the 2 minutes, will take the fastest lap of the race. In fact, he did a 1 minute 59.8 at the end there.
Yeah, I think he did that on the very last lap.
So Gary absolutely flying. We're going to take a very quick break. We'll have the top 3 in for an interview. And the top 6, so Gary, John Boy, Cobb, Fury, Craigie and Nick the Villa cannot qualify for race 2. Don't go anywhere. So
Gary, John Boy and Cobb.
General chat. So Gary,
I have a feeling
John Boy,
Dan might not be very happy.
Fury. Gary, John Boy, Cobb, Fury. Who finished 6th? 5th? Craig, wasn't it?
Craig.
Craig. 6th was...
And then Nick Lavilla. Nick Lavilla.
Right, just going to pop to the toilet.
Right.
So, this full one definitely got the advantage because really he could just sit there and behind Muller and just play safe. Now look at this battle for second, Van Neal versus Alan Morrison. Oh, and Aaron Schweitz in trouble. Well, they got that car back on the grid, but there's been contact again, and he looks to be in trouble. And look at this, all the cars everywhere. Van Muller's in the middle of that pack behind this battle for second place, and Thompson's in there as well. Anthony Reid's on the inside of the MG. Paul O'Neill on the outside. Gary Powell in the independent car on the inside as well. 3 abreast, 4 abreast some of the time. This must be pretty nerve-wracking stuff for Van Muller, who wants a clean race to the front to get the points to try and beat Thompson in the championship.
Yeah, look at Reid there. Reid going completely sideways at Craner as he got pushed out wide there. This is really exciting stuff. It's a classic sequence of corners here. And there, Muller pushing his way to 4th place.
Well, Paul O'Neill is not giving up that position that easily. Look at what's from on board Van Muller. Here comes O'Neill back at him again. Well, Paul O'Neill is not going to give way.
Back out to whoever's in the lobby. Just back out a second.
Second continues as Morrison has got himself ahead of McNeil, and that's good stuff as Aaron Schleich does retire. That is disastrous news. The championship is over for him. Dan Eaves is going to win the Independence Cup title. This battle for second is still on. I thought Morrison had already got it. Now he does just get it as he moves ahead into the S's. Look at Anthony Reid next up. Then it's Van Muller. Paul O'Neill, he hits Paul O'Neill. So Muller involved in more contact as Howell tries to get past them both. And James Thompson still holding a watching brief right behind, making sure that Muller's not too many places ahead of him. Oh, look at this. Where can they all fit into? I don't know. They're all trying to get round the Melbourne hairpin together.
Yes, it's not really going well for Van Muller, is it?
It's a tough battle in the mid-pack at the moment. Dan Eaves is out as well. He's
Get
got
out, Dan, and then. Dan, get out. What did he want? Fuck's sake.
Oh, and Tom Chill.
They're not having any. That's what they're both coming down for, each other.
What came down for a drink?
Well, he looked like he was looking for you.
Yeah, he said he was looking for me, but he didn't. Did he say
Well,
anything?
No.
So you can't really tell. You can't say
No, I'm getting sick. No, but I'm getting sick of him. Every time.
What came down for a drink now? He said.
Well, he was looking for you. Because he looked in there, then he looked in there. I didn't see him come back up with a drink.
second year in a row for Van Muller.
Yeah, it's very unlucky, but with motor racing it happens, and he'll be disappointed, obviously, but...
He come down looking for you for sweets.
Another championship, I
He's sick of it.
So it's Muller
You tell him wait. and they can't wait.
There was so much going on.
What's wrong with you, Matt? Chill out. You big gay lord.
Gary in here?
I'm here.
Fucking dominance, mate.
I had a couple of moments, I'm not going to lie.
Fucking hell. You and John Boy, you must have had the most boring race ever.
I was hoping for some moments, Gary, so I could have left some for the back here.
I had one coming onto the fucking straight. Jesus Christ, hit that puddle and just pirouetted nearly. I was literally 90 degrees, but I managed to straighten it up somehow. Horrible. It's nice to have a race like that sometimes, Matt.
What, where you're at on your own?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
At least you didn't run out of fuel this week.
No, did you see how much I had in the tank?
No. Barely saw you.
I was practicing for race 2, let's put it that way.
Who are we waiting on here?
It's one going out of this race, but we still have a race to run. Andy Brio leads as they get to the restart. He's behind.
2002.
Then Anthony Reed to take the last victory of the season. Gary Miles is there as well as the yellow and black MG. Paul O'Neill not far behind him. And then Warren Hughes back with David Leslie side by side. The L plates on Warren Hughes' car. Nothing to do with his driving.
Oh, we're missing 2 drivers at the minute.
Getting married next week.
Liam's one of them. Fury's the other. Right, text Liam quickly.
Can't believe I put Fury for him.
So good, aggressive racing once again, and Reed certainly showing that ruthless drinking. Oh, Howell's made contact with Reed. Howell at the truck. Fellow MG driver, the two of them have had a coming.
He's back. Right, let's go.
Let's see what happens here. Really, it's a question of Powell there, really trying to go around the outside of Reed, didn't give Reed enough room. And as a result of that, he's spun himself out.
I can't qualify, can I?
Nope, top 6 can't. You've got to run 100 litres as well.
That's alright, that's gusty. I think I was only about 10 litres short in that race.
Oh, Dan struggled there.
Yeah, he weren't happy.
Fucking hell.
I don't know if you noticed, John Boy, but he was in the Astra and he's got 100 litres of fuel.
No, I didn't notice that at all.
I was stuck
You didn't hear him mention it once, maybe twice?
Was he whinging?
Or like 3 times a fucking lap?
I think it was part of his game plan.
Wind you off the track.
Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport for the second race of the evening and round 10 here at Snetterton, and the rain is still with us for the second qualifying session. The top 6 can't qualify, so Gary, John Boy, Cobb, Fury, Craig E and Nick Lavellette cannot qualify. Gary, John Boy, Cobb and Fury have got to run 100 litres for race 2, and we'll start with Cobb, who can't seem to get rid of this 100 litres, but not a bad race in the end. You got past Dan and managed to comfortably clear Fury.
Yeah, no, it was an interesting start. Dan did a mega job at defending against a lot of us. I think once the sort of gate opened, I managed to close the gap to Fury pretty quickly. I was actually quite surprised that I managed to pit him at the end, but he sort of made a little mistake at the last corner. I just managed to get a run on him, and yeah, that was that really. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, starting from 7th.
Not the easiest circuits in the dry, and then you add the rain into the mix. It makes it a little bit more tricky. How did you find it out there?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad because I practiced a lot in the wet. I didn't really practice in the dry. So yeah, I was pretty happy that it started off pretty wet. But yeah, just happy to finish 3rd, and obviously Fury being my sort of, my sort of closest rival in that sense, it's good to sort of just finish a place ahead of him too.
And race 2, what can you do from by the back of the pack?
Just do my best and see what happens.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, Tom.
Thank you very much.
No problem. We'll catch you later.
Cheers, mate. Nice one.
We've got John Boy in as well for what I think is his first podium of the season. And John Boy, a pretty quiet race after the first lap.
I know. It was quite ideal, to be honest. Once we got through the first couple of corners, so it was just sort of time with Gary. I was just trying to concentrate on And then just sort of, yeah, try and be consistent on keeping an eye on the gaps to the guys behind. I knew Cobb was coming through the field, bringing his held up a little bit, so that sort of probably helped me in hindsight to keep the second place. But yeah, really happy with podium. Good amount.
I think the first time you're going to run the 100, or might be the second time you're going to run the 100 litres of fuel as well. What's the Merc like with the heavy fuel? Looks like you're going to be about mid-pack when everything sorts itself out in qualifying. What can you do in race 2? Well, we wish you the best of luck, buddy, and go get him. Cheers, buddy. And we got Gary in as well, and what should probably be 3 wins in a row. He's only a pair of London buses, but Gary, that was pretty dominant.
I wouldn't say dominant. John Boy kept me honest for the first few laps, to be fair, but yeah, it's alright. It's nice to have a race like that every now and then.
The King of Snetterton, you've done well in the GT3s. You've always gone well around this track. And in that beloved BMW, it just makes it an extra factor into what can be a good night for yourself in terms of points.
Yes, since I've got the new wheel, the BMW seems to be, well, I found that I haven't raced any of my previous cars, but it seems to handle how I remember it, so it makes it a little bit easier.
Race 1, obviously, Alton Park was a race to forget. You said off air that you was very close on fuel. Was it nearly another moment of, oh, hang on, I might not make the end of this one?
100% we didn't have that problem in that race. That was, I think I was running about 80 litres to be fair, so.
80 litres, that's then good practice for the 100 litres you've got to put in the tank now.
Yeah, should be interesting.
Race 2, mid-pack, what can you do?
Try and make progress and keep on the tarmac, I suppose.
Well, best of luck, Gary, and yeah, go give him hell.
Cheers, mate, thank you.
Cheers, buddy. And Jamie, the top 3 all seemed very happy with their progress. They all seemed very happy with their work. Now they've got the task of the 100 litres. Unless you're Cobb, who's been used to it all season, John Boy and Gary's got the task of 100 litres in their car, and they've got an extra task now of making sure that they can get this right.
Yeah, they have, and they've got another task of getting through the field. At the minute, Smoky Devil's on pole by 7/10 of a second. Who is next to come across the line? Nick. Is it Lucas Roth, or is it Welshie to come across the line? What can Welshie do? Welshie comes across the line. He goes up to 3rd place, so at the minute he's out qualifying Dan. Bit of a quiet qualifying for race 1 for Welshie and Lucas Roth, but the championship looks like this. Fury 2 points clear of Cobb now after round 9. WS RCJ is 20 points behind. Dan now 26 points behind. Nick DeVille has brought himself right back into contention, 29 off the back. Gary up to P6, only 45 off the back of everybody. He's bringing himself back into play here with John Boy in P7. 2 points ahead of Smoky Devil, and Craig Hewitt tied 8th, and Plava is 9th with Welshie 11th. Lucas Roth gained on Mazda for that 12th place spot, but Mazda holds on to it still by 3 points. Monkey Boy drops to 14th with Bryn 15th. DJ Phil 16th. That Bozzy Boy now ahead of Andy in 17th and 18th. Jamie, it looks like it stopped raining here, so for the last 3.5 minutes we should see a track that is just going to improve. No lap time though for that Bozzy Boy. Yeah, he doesn't look like he's going to come out of the pit. Whoever is last across the line in qualifying is going to be the person that gets pole position, as Dan goes on pole position with a 2-minute 2. And the next person to cross the line is going to be Smokey, I think, as he's coming through Rundle and Nelson. Yeah, Liam's not come out to settle lap time here, which is a bit odd. I mean, he's starting at the head of the people who aren't qualifying, so I mean, if he's already seen where he's qualifying and thinks, no, I don't want to qualify, then fair enough. But so he could start further up the grid.
He could do indeed. Smoky Devil to the line then with 3 minutes 8 left on the clock. He's going to pump a lap time in. Dan's gone provisional pole by 0.7 of a second, but we imagine every lap here is going to make the car better and better as we go along. Smoky Devil who finds 0.2. Emplava was next to the line. What can Emplava improve by? Currently 1.5 down on Dan. He doesn't find any time. Then we've got Welshie coming to the line. Can he find any more time here? Currently 3.1 seconds down on Dan. Comes to the line, improves by 0.6. I think the next one to cross the line is DJ Phil, then Keegs. The problem people have got is they don't want to pit to then come back out on a fresh set of dries because they haven't got a lot of time to do so.
No, so they haven't really got any time to do so now, so you really want to do so. If you're going to do that, come out at about 3 minutes time. There's absolutely no time now, as Dan's gone back to the pits as we say that.
So's DJ Phil. So DJ Phil returns to the pits as we say that. But for Dan here and DJ Phil, they've got to get out now. If they don't get out now, Danny's out. So he's clearly, has he changed to the slicks or is he just going for a quick run on them things? Dan can't have a mistake this outlap. Lucas Roth to the line, currently 4.4 down, finds 2.5 seconds, goes above his dad and on the back of Emplava. But I think Smokey was at the line as well. No, he wasn't. Who was just behind Keegs there then? Was that Jay behind Keegs? It was. He's P3. So who's the next to the line? It is Smoky Devil. DJ Phil is done for qualifying, and that will be him done. By the way, Gary, that Fury's pole position puts him on to 12, same as his teammate, as I said. Gary's win puts him 1 behind yourself, Jamie, as Smoky then back into the pits.
Yeah, he comes back to the pits. He was 0.8 up as well. He could have gone again. I think if Dan's gone onto the slick tyres, I think he's made the wrong call.
Well, only time will tell if he even gets to the line at this moment. There's 2 at the hairpin who are battling out for position. They'll be the lucky 2. In fact, they might not be because Emplava is guaranteed to get an extra lap in. Whoever's behind Emplava as well, which might be Welshie, I think it might have been, should also get another lap time. But here, though, is Emplava not the best of laps. Is he just backing off to have a better run at the end? Smokey done, Phil done, although Phil and Liam have came out of the pits too little too late for them to. Here, though, comes Emplava, will get one last run in here. Can he take this pole position? No. What about Welshie? 2.5 down on Dan. Any time improvement here? No for him. Who's the next to line? I think it was Lucas Roth. DJ Phil's back in the pits, so it's Lucas. It's not Lucas Roth. It's that must be Dan then on his outlap.
He is going to get there just in time.
Talk about just in time. I don't think so. I think Jay and Keegs will be the first 2 then to finish their laps.
Yeah, Dan's going to be the last person to cross. Last person to cross the line.
Dan on slick tyres, if he is on slicks, could be absolutely flying. That's not a bad outlap to be only 2 seconds off. Here, though, comes Keegs and Jay. Any more time? Jay needs 0.7 to take provisional pole. He's getting a bit of a slipstream from Keegs, who needs 1.9 seconds to take pole position. Nothing from Keegs, nothing from Jay. Next car coming round Coram, I think, is potentially that Bozzy boy, but he won't even get a lap in.
No. He might just be coming. He might just come straight back into the pits, or just be testing something.
So it is all eyes then on Emplava, who is on the Bentley straight and will be the next car to finish a lap time. 1.5 down. Let's go to Emplava quickly before he comes through the sector 2 sign.
Jamie!
As Emplava now comes through sector 2. Jay's in the pits. Now you're fine. Where's Emplava? Coming through Cora into the bomb hole.
Yeah, he's coming through bomb hole. He's now going to come towards Coram. Is he going to nail Coram? Yeah,
Welshie's the car behind him, and Dan then the last one on the lap because Jay's pitted. Lucas Roth wasn't on a time, so chance for Welshie to get back ahead of Keegs, chance for Emplava to maybe get on the front row of the grid. Down towards the line he comes. Danny's going to have the driest of the conditions, as the track will be drying every time they go round it. Here comes Emplava, no improvement. What about Welshie? Has he improved any? No. Now then, unorthodox, what can you do?
Yeah, what can Dan do? He comes round towards Murray's. Can he get this exit? Absolutely bang on. He's missed the apex there. He's not going to get a brilliant drive.
Down then the centre straight. Unorthodox. Did he go to the slick tyre? He just got an extra lap in. Is this going to be pole by an even bigger margin?
I think it was.
It was, so he did improve half a second. So Dan, a 2:01.8 from Smoky Devil in second place. JP3 with Emplava in fourth. Lucas Roth will line up just in front of his dad for P5 and sixth, with DJ Phil Green in seventh. That Buzzy Boy in eighth. And the first of the non-qualifiers, Fury in ninth. Championship leader has the best result over his rival Cobb. Nick the Villa's 10th with John Boy 11th. Gary in 12th with Craigie 13th. Cobb at the back of the pack. He's got some work to do. So we need to check Gary, John Boy, Cobb and Fury for the 100 litres.
Cobb hasn't yet. John Boy has. Fury has. Let's check Cobb again.
So it is just Cobb.
Yeah, come. It says a dry start, so is this going to favour the BM? There we go, he's on 100 litres.
There we go then. So must have just been sorting out last bits. Dan, though, on pole. It's his first pole position for a while. Doesn't have many pole positions. Does on Orthodubs. But he's got one now. And that puts him on 15 overall. So not many pole positions. His last pole position would have been at season 2 last year. He only took 2 pole positions in season 5, last season. But he's now on to 15 poles overall. And 2 behind Gary 131. What he really wants, though, for this championship is P1 in the race.
Yeah, what he needs is P1 in the race and his championship rivals to slip up behind him. But I can't really see Gary slipping up. But one thing I am noticing, Dan needs to up his field.
Yes, he does. Might be changing the strategy around. He's not got a lot of time to do so. But Jamie, I put this one to you. Gary's not really his rival in this championship at the minute, so can he afford at this stage to let Gary have a win here?
No, he can't, because Gary is the man in form at the minute. Without Gary's fuel mishap, Gary would have 3 wins on the bounce.
Gary is 20 points behind Dan at the moment, though, as we are getting syncing up. We are getting ready to go. Dan is now on 34 litres. The revs rise then, and for the final time tonight, we are green, and Dan gets an absolute rocket. Look at Jay as well. Smoky Devil didn't seem to move. The question is where's that yellow BMW? Didn't look at him. He's trying to go left. He's trying to go right. Can't get past anybody. We all come through turn 1 relatively scot-free at this moment. Craig and John Boy, I think, have just changed places. Craig's also got past DJ Phil. John Boy, I think, has had a little moment, but Dan currently in the lead, and I think that is Bozzy Boy, who's been caught out there by Nick the Villa. So a bit of damage maybe to them 2 cars, but Dan getting the exact start he needed.
He is. He's got the exact start he needed. But he's going to have Jay and Smoky Devil all over the back. And Jay didn't have a good.
He didn't. And let's go back to Jay, because look at Smoky Devil round the outside before Agostini. Lucas Roth's even there as well, trying to tuck underneath maybe for an extra place. Gary's already up to 6th. He's taking Fury with him. But Keegs looking on the back of Jay for P3 and on the podium spot at the minute. And these 3 squabbling will allow Dan to get away. Oh, that's Gary off! Gary's off!
He's spun it.
Right round goes Gary 131. And a huge spin there. He's rejoined before that Bozzy Boy. In fact, no, that Bozzy Boy's just got past him. So Gary, a lot of work to do already. But if any man can do it around this track, Gary can. The question is, Jamie, rain is looming again. And we are expecting a shower at some point. When that shower will be, who knows? Dan, Jay, Smokey, Keegs, Lucas Ross, shall I say. Jay's got back ahead of Smoky Devil there.
Yeah, he has. Now they've got to work together to hunt down the Astra in front, otherwise the Astra's going to disappear off into the sunset.
I think Welshie's just got ahead of Fury behind this pack, because I'm sure it was Fury behind Keegs, not Welshie. So Welshie's made up a place. Fury struggling then, and he's got Craigie and Nick the Villa on the back of him. Welshie getting the better run, and Fury, was he a little pushy on the back of Welshie there? Either way, he lets Welshie have that place back. Gary's already back ahead of that Bozzy Boy as they're coming down towards the back of Emplava at the back of this part of the track. Dan, though, 1.3 in the lead already as they come through Riches. Fury has Craigie on the back of him, and Welshie sliding that Megan through, and Fury taps the back. Oh, it's carnage! Fury taps Welshie, and I'm sure Nick the Villa has hit Fury in the air. Lucas Roth has got past Jay, and Fury has to have a steady rejoin here. And on he comes now behind behind Cobb, behind his championship rival.
Yeah, Craig managed to get through on Jay as well, so did Jay run wide out of Rich's? Gary's now up to 11th, he's already on the back of Emplava. He's hoping he can make short work. Emplava's making that job a lot easier for Gary, and through the BMW should go. He's then got DJ Phil and John Boy in front. John Boy's going to try and go round the outside of DJ Phil, not going to work there.
You have to feel sorry for Welshie. Jamie there was in the wrong place at the wrong time, come through turn one and get a tap up the rear from Fury. And it's again, maybe another thing we have to look at. Fury again tapping another driver around. As we saw last week, he got him demoted 3 or 4 places here, so Fury, could he be under investigation again? Gary now up into 10th place on the back of John Boy and on the back of DJ Phil, who's trying to get that Astra to work while the leaders are away. Dan has a 2.9 second gap, and look at the run. Gary gets out to Williams on the Bentley straight. Gary, 100 litres of fuel these two are on, but you wouldn't tell it from the way that BMW was just pulled from the Mercedes A-Class.
Dan's gone off.
Oh, he's had a moment. What has he done there?
And Smoky Devil's had a mistake. Someone's hit him. There's damage on his left front door, on the left door. I think he's gone off, and then Smokey's gone off as well and collected him, because Lucas Roth is in the lead of this race.
It's a Mercedes 1-2. It's like watching Adam Morgan and Aidan Moffat in these coloured cars at the moment. Gary's now up to 8th place. They've all got past DJ Phil. Who was that up and over the curb? I think it was Fury.
It was Fury.
Cobb now up to 5th. Smokey's down to 6th place. Lucas Roth, he's not won in 65 races. Could this be the win? Dan on the back of Jay. He needed this race win. He needed the points. And Dan really starting to struggle. Lucas Roth, though, the man to watch. Nick Navilla with the damage in the pits.
Yeah, I'd still like to know what happened to Gary.
To Dan, yeah.
To Dan.
Lucas Roth, Craig E, Jay sliding through Palmer's with Dan on the back of him. Cobb not far off the back of the pair of them. Then Smoky Devil, then Fury, then Gary in 8th place. From John Boy 9th, Bozzy Boy 10th, and Plava down in 11th. With DJ Phil 12th, Woshi 13th, and Nick Navilla, horrible race 2 down in 14th place. But for this man, really needed this good points in this race, and he's losing out. But Jay's car all night has been very sideways through all the corners. He had a terrible race 1, let's not forget, did Jay. And Dan looks like he's got the better over Jay's mechanic at the minute. And in the front you can see Craig and Lucas Roth. So Dan not too far off this race lead.
Yeah, he's not too far off the race lead, but he's got 3 cars ahead of him that he's got to get past. The cars behind are all very close. As Dan, is he going to have a look into Blanco?
He was pulling the Megane in there. Very strange to see the Astra in a straight line pull the Renault Megane in, and Dan doing a fantastic job at the moment. But is it me or is it getting a bit darker?
It is getting darker. It looks very stormy overhead.
Dan then right on the back of Jay. Lucas Roth from Craig E. That gap's now just under a second, but we'll stay with this one for a minute, because Dan, is he just pulling a little wide to have a little sending into Murray's? I think he's thought better of that, as Jay then again slipping and sliding through. Mystic Energy and Tyler Fowler in the chat saying, let's go Fury, come on Fury, keep steady, don't let anyone bring you down, you've been knocked out by a bunch of drivers in the past, keep steady, drive smart, drive fast. And that is exactly what Fury's got to do. But why is he pitting?
Yeah, why is he pitting? Unless there's a few drops of rain coming.
Potentially so. I've not seen anything yet.
No, there's no rain coming.
Does he have damage from that hit tap with Nick Navilla that has maybe gave him some damage and he's just struggling with it? That's promoted Cobb and Smoky Devil and Gary up an extra place. Dan's got past Jay and needs to get on the back of Craig and Lucas Roth here.
Yeah, he's got to try and keep that McGann behind, because the McGann, if the McGann has a good drive off the...
Oh, Nick Navilla's back in the pits. It is, Jamie, it is raining. I'm sure I've seen a few spots. So the rain is coming then with 13 minutes remaining. Dan tries to defend from Jay. He does so. He's back on the podium.
Oh, he gets a bit sideways through.
And the rain starts to fall. So there's no pit stops in the touring cars. But surely these drivers have got to pit for the wet tyre.
Yeah, surely they have. They've got 13 minutes. It's not wet enough, but wet enough at the minute. Yeah, there's definitely raindrops. Gary is up into 6th. He's done Smoky Devil. He's now going to be on the back of Cobb. He's only 5 seconds off the back of this pair.
Yeah, Gary is flying 8 seconds off the lead, 5 seconds off of this pair. Gary flying at Snetterton, the king of Snettertoners. That's an interesting line from Jay. Has a spin and manages to not slide across the grass into the path of unorthodox, because that would be so unlucky for Dan if that was to happen. But Jay here then, just making a mistake to fall into the clutches of Cobb once again. And Gary, a 55.2. The only quick man matching that was Dan last time round, but Dan was 3 tenths slower.
And Craig and
Jay, sorry. Craig and Jay as well in the 50s. And the rain is starting to come down heavier now. Nick the Villa's still in the pits. Lucas Roth doesn't pit, but Craig is rolling the dice on an undercut.
Yeah, if the track gets really dry, because the thing is, it's a long lap. What is the track looking like? It's starting to become a bit shiny now.
Starting to get greasy, not wet enough at this moment in time for Gary 131 and the others to pit, but for Gary 131 it is dry enough and it is okay to carry on going. And on the back of Cobb now, right on the back of Cobb, Welshie is coming to the pits as well. Nick the Villa's still there, and look at how greasy the track's getting. But Gary has the confidence over the Megan to absolutely pump in these lap times and really put the pressure on. Fury stays out and goes past Welshie and Craig, so did Fury pit? I wonder if that's an interesting strategy from Fury. Pit even a lap even earlier. Craig on his way out the pits, and Lucas Roth has a 2-second lead at the moment.
Yeah, I think Dan's just made a mistake, because Jay's still on the back, and Jay was about a second, was probably about 2 seconds off after his mistake. He's really closing in on Dan, so Dan is struggling once again in that action.
Yeah, I wonder if Dan's struggling in the wet conditions. It didn't look right in race 1. In the wet, it doesn't look that great here, although the gap just under a second. This gap is under half a second. Gary doesn't look flustered by the conditions. He's absolutely charging on Cobb here. 0.3 of a second now, Gary to Cobb, as they break into Brundle and Nelson. Steady as you go through this bit. This will be the slippiest part of the track, and it is for Cobb, who's round, loses out to Gary, rejoins ahead of Smokey Devil, but has lost out massive times. Has Keegs made a mistake? Because Dan on the back of Lucas Roth with under a second now.
He has to be, but say Gary is well and truly flying his Keegs.
Oh.
They're all sideways. Surely they've all got to be in.
Lucas Roth in, Unorthodox in, Cobb, Jay, I'd imagine is coming in. Gary 131, Jay stayed out, and I think Gary's staying out. No, Gary's in, Cobb's in, Smokey Devil's coming in, Jay staying out. Who is that away? Did I just hear somebody away there? Lucas Roth, is he away? No.
No one is away. Who's
right.
going to be the third?
Plava's staying out here, or is that John Boy? That's John Boy who's staying out. There's DJ Phil and Posy Boy and Plava, and Plava's also staying out. Dan's jumped Lucas Roth! Dan has jumped Lucas Roth, so where is Lucas Roth then? He's away now. Did Lucas Roth miss his pit box? Was that him reversing back maybe in the pits that we heard? Posy Boy's just come into the pits. Smokey Devil's missed his pit box, or is he having to wait for Gary? Gary's away, not sure what's happening with Smokey Devil, but Gary's away. Cobb's jumped Gary. A lot of dramas in this pit lane. Fury's back into the pits as well. Jay, John Boy and Plava all stayed out, and that is...
That's Craig going past.
That's Craig E, who pitted a lap early and is back just ahead of these two. Not by a lot, though. Gary, look. Gary, Dan's made a mistake, I think, but Gary was coming past Cobb, has got past Cobb. Cobb looks very slow.
I'll tell you what, if Jay and John Boy could have pulled a very good strategy here, because it's John Boy and Jay.
We've lost a driver.
That's Smokey Devil.
Right, we've lost Smokey Devil. I think he's been done in the pit lane, so he will come away with 14th place points, unfortunately for him.
I was going to say, if Jay and John Boy have done the strategy, I think, but I don't think Jay has, as Jay's now sideways.
Yeah, he's now sideways. John Boy needs to get it right, and Plava needs to get it right, because Dan is within a second of Plava according to the timing screens. That can't be right. If that was John Boy, this is Dan, sorry. John Boy and Plava running the same liveries, just different wing mirrors. Dan then within a second and a half of Plava. So Dan is your net leader effectively, because he jumped Lucas Roth. Absolute peach. Gary's on the back of Craigie, so Craigie trying the undercut. It kind of worked, but it nowhere near the back of Lucas Roth. Dan overcut Lucas Roth and Craigie. And Jay's staying out again. 7 minutes 45 left. This track's just going to get wetter. And Jay is risking it. What about John Boy?
John Boy.
I cannot believe what I am witnessing here. Plava has unorthodox on the back of him. Surely Plava's going to do... No, he's not!
We've lost another driver as well. Who's that? Who have we lost?
Not quite sure.
I'm not sure who we've lost. Is it Craig? No, not Craig. I think John...
I'm struggling to remember who we've lost here. 2 people have retired. One of them is Smokey Devil.
I think John Boy might have pulled a bit of...
I don't know who we've lost here, Jamie. I can't figure this one out.
No, I can't figure it out either.
Dan's there and Plava's there.
It'll come to me in a minute.
Craigie's there, Gary's there, Welsh's there, John Boy's there, Jay's there, Cobb's there, Nick the Villa. We've lost Nick the Villa.
Yeah, that's the one. I think John Boy, I think he started on the wet. Look at him compared to Jay.
Yeah, he's a lot better than Jay. He's a lot more grippier. Dan still fighting. Plava, though, let's watch this battle instead of John Boy at the minute, because let's see if Plava started on the wet tyre, same as John Boy. Dan is all over the back of him. You look at Plava and John Boy's lap times, Jamie, they're not bad.
Yeah, they're not bad. I think the pair of them have started on the
Cobb's back in the pits once again, so did its tyres change? Cobb's race has gone from bad to worse, and Fury then might gain a couple of points over his championship rival. Dan, though, trying to gain over both of them with them two 11th and 12th. This is really helping. John Boy's past Jay for the lead.
Yeah, John Boy has passed Jay for the lead.
Gary's on the back of Craig.
He's going to get the slipstream down the Bentley straight, but if John Boy has put the wet tyres on, that is an absolutely brilliant strategy.
It will if it's paid off. Gary to the inside of Brundle and Nelson. Who's got the bigger cojones? Well, you have to say Gary 131, but maybe not, because Craigie's keeping it there and forces Gary to break a bit earlier into Nelson then, and Craig holds position. Jay then down to second place, still doesn't pit. Dan on the back of Plava, still can't find a way through for a podium. Is he going to look into Richie's at turn 1? The Pro-Am runner-up versus the Pro Champion, and Dan up the inside at Richie's, forces Plava wide, and Dan back into third.
Yeah, Plava's dropped a waiver, but their lap times last lap was very similar.
I think you're right here. Gary, side by side with Craig E. Jay had a massive wiggle. Jay's trying to get this one to the end, and I don't think it's going to work. Gary, though, up round the outside of Richie's and Craig E. He knows better than anybody if he can do it, and he has done it, and it's P6 for Gary. Next stop, Lucas Roffers, and Plava's now back on the podium, as him and Dan have both got past Jay.
Yeah, they have, and they've got a massive gap to Lucas Roth. So, Jay might be safe from Lucas. He's got 11 seconds to Lucas Roth, and Gary's only a further 4 seconds behind. So it all depends how much Jay struggles. But yeah, I'm definitely adamant that John Boy is on the way to Dan's off.
Made a mistake then coming down towards Oggies. I think John Boy and Plava are both on the wet tyre. I think that's a good shout, because they're both matching, sort of driving similar pace. And John Boy from by the back of the pack with 100 litres, let's not forget. Mercedes hasn't won a race this season. Well, it could do today, and John Boy, a first or second, could be absolutely fantastic if he is to get it.
Yeah, Gary is closing up on the back of Lucas Roth. He's just under 2 seconds behind, and he could catch Jay very quickly as well.
Indeed, he could. As the poll is going out now for the driver of the day, so make sure you get your votes in for that one. Me and Jamie will give ours a little later on. 20 people watching, 12 likes, guys, girls, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, and hit the bell to be notified. Me and Dan Davis will be back in the commentary box tomorrow night with a GT3 Pro-Am series at the Circuit of the Americas, proving to be a tricky track for everybody. And then Jamie Brazier and Dan Davis will be in your commentary box on Thursday night for the Pro Series, where Dan will be in the commentary box Sunday night for the finale of the F1. Everything wrapped up, nothing to play for. Maybe a few places for other drivers up and down the grid, and Ferrari, I think, looking for a top 3 in the Constructors, can get that one. But at the minute, Gary really closing in on the back of Lucas Roth here, and these two are 9 seconds now, 8 seconds to Jay. With maybe 2 laps to go in this race, Can they get them 8 seconds to Jay? Gary was 16 seconds quicker than Jay last time around. Gary is flying.
And there's Jay just in front. I think that was there's a battle behind it. That Bozzy boy DJ Phil and Fury. So Fury is trying to get up a few more positions.
Yeah, he's ahead of Welshie, which will pull a couple of points over Cobb. Bozzy boy a bit deep at the Murray's final corner, which didn't allow DJ Phil an invitation, nor did it allow Fury then. It has Fury actually. Look for Fury getting past DJ Phil. That is job done, and he's now going to look onto the back of that Bozzy boy. Dan 4 seconds off the back of John Boy. Gary within touching distance of WRSCJ. There he is, look.
Yeah, Jay sideways. Jay not going to have any traction to defend.
I think he's going to lose out to Lucas Roth and Craig here as well.
Yeah, he will do. There's Craig. There's Lucas Roth. Jay sideways on the grass. Gary got on the grass as well.
Jay is all over the place. I think 8th place will be where Jay finishes because Bozzy Boy is way behind at the minute. As there goes Lucas Roth and Craig E, who was battling for 1st and 2nd earlier on. They're now battling for 6th and 7th. And look at Craig compared to Lucas Roth. He seems to have that Mercedes hooked up better in the wet than what Keegs does. As at the minute, driver of the day is going the way of John Boy so far. And Craig E past Lucas Roth. But for this, Lucas Roth, 6th place at the minute, could be his best result of the season in terms of getting into that top 12 shootout for not kill.
Yeah, it's very good points getting into the top 10 shootout. I think Welshie's now got on the back of this battle as well, so Liam's proving a bit of a tough cookie to pass for Fury.
He is indeed, as Welshie's gaining on the back of DJ Phil. Cobb is well behind this pack. Can these guys get on the back of Jay? Probably not at this moment in time, but Fury looking to the outside of Brundle and Nelson on that Bozzy boy, and can he get the job done? I don't think he's going to do it in a straight line. He's got to do it on the brakes, and for Fury here, can he go right around the outside of Brundle?
He's going to try it.
He's going to do it.
He's done it.
An absolute kipper there for Fury on that Bozzy boy, and Bozzy can't come back at him then. So now then, the front three are all spread out. Gary spread out in 4th. Craig and Lucas Roth are still battling, but Bozzy boy hasn't let this one rest yet. It's DJ Phil over the lumps and bumps through bomb hole. Manages to somehow hang on to it, but it's got Welshie right on the back of him here.
Yeah, he has. I tell you what, Jay could lose that to Fury yet if he makes a mistake, which is...
23 seconds is a big ash. Jay, a 2:23.1 for Fury. Well, yeah, 19 seconds potentially. Jay's got to have a bit of an off though.
Yeah, it's not out of the question for.
It's not out of the question. No, you're right. John Boy though, from the back of the pack, looks like he's going to come home to take his first race win of the season and his first ever win here at Simplay Motorsport. And for John Boy, a lovely... He said it's about getting points back after he missed last week. Well, no better points than 1st and 2nd here at Snetterton. The King of Snetterton's 4th and 1st tonight. Not bad for Gary in terms of getting back this championship when the leaders are 8th and 12th. Dan, though, surely has to be the happiest man tonight.
Yeah, Dan's got to be very happy with the 2nd place. I mean, race 1 didn't go his way, so it just allows John Boy and Gary just to get that little bit closer, but he'll be happy that he's gained some points on the championship leaders. John
Boy then out the final corner of Murray's. A little weave and a big flash of the lights for John Boy as he comes towards the line. John Boy is your race winner. Unorthodox will take a solid 2nd place, and Plaver's on the podium. The first time I get to interview N Plaver for a P3. Gary looks like he's going to come away with a 1st and a 4th in this one. Solid night's worth of points for Gary, 131. Craig E as well. A pair of 5th places for him. He's had a good night's worth of points. Lucas Roth looks like he could be at P6. He's well ahead of Jay. Bozzy Boy's got back ahead of Fury. What has happened here? Brundle and Nelson, Bozzy all over the sausage curb, and Fury round the outside. Back through. Where's Jay though? Jay's got the last corner, so Jay is going to hang on for that P7.
He is. He's managed to crawl across the line. He comes across and like, what's going on with Liam and Fury?
Oh, he sent one into Murray's! Up the inside! Fury doesn't get the run out of the corner, neither did Liam. Fury on the grass. So it's a drag race to the line. Who is going to get this one? It looks like Liam's coming. Photo finish. I think Fury's just going to hang in there. He does. So Fury will take a P8. Liam a P9. Great battle. DJ Phil will just hang on for a 10th place from Welshie in P11. Jamie, the fastest lap.
Yeah, looks to be from Gary, a 55.0.
So Gary then at the fastest lap as well. Get the top 3 in for a quick chat. Then as John Boy wins once again from, it won't let me save replay 2, Jamie, so I don't know if you can try and save that one. Gary, though...
I'm not able to save it.
Right, so we can't unfortunately get save 2, race 2. Which is strange because I deleted the footage earlier from last week, so it should be all right. Either way, Fury, 6 points is the gap to Cobb once again. 13 points, though, to Unorthodox, who will keep the 100 litres of fuel, but has pulled that gap back to the championship leaders. Jay's only 19 points off the back as well for hanging in there in 7th. John Boy up into 6th place. He is 37 points off the back. 2 points ahead of Gary, who's only 39 points off the back. Really bringing themselves into contention. Craig E, 8th place, 53 points off the back of the championship lead with Smoky Devil now in 9th. And Plover's up to 10th with Welshie 11th. Lucas Roth gets himself into 12th place, a point behind his dad. But in that shootout possibility of not kill with a couple of rounds to go till then, Mazda 13th with Monkey Boy 14th. Bryn down in 15th. DJ Phil 16th place tied with Bryn. That Buzzy Boy a point behind them. And Andy bringing up the rear, and we are, I think, just awaiting N. Plaver to come in.
I'm here.
He's here, which is even better. N, a pit stop, a change to the wet tyres, and a podium.
Yes, at the race I was debating myself to go on slicks and then change to wets or go on wets at the start. And I thought, if you don't risk, you don't gain. And I gained a lot.
So wets at the start of the race.
Yeah.
Well,
I was pretty slow, so I was trying not to overheat them.
It seems to work for you, though.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that John did that as well. I thought, okay, 30 seconds, I will be in front, but someone called John did the same strategy as me.
But a bit weird me interviewing you. I'm used to racing against you, not interviewing you. But it's very nice nonetheless. Dan just got you towards the end of that race. Just had that bit more pace than you towards the end.
Yeah, I think he's quicker throughout the season, and I thought I will not fight him as hard and try to catch John Boy. And yeah, didn't work out, but still a 3rd place. I'm really happy.
You have to be. Up to 10th place in the championship, and we head to Silverstone National next week. What can you do around there?
We'll have to see, I don't think I have dream in there, especially with touring car, so it will be a nice new challenge for me.
And going into GT3s on Thursday night, you've got to be confident.
Yeah, that makes me feel like I know what I'm doing. I can fight with the big guns in the front, so I'm really excited.
Well, hopefully we'll see each other on the front row of the grid again.
Yeah.
Well done tonight, buddy, and best of luck next week and on Thursday night. And we go to a man who, off air, will tell you he's struggling like mad, but that second race looked like he had it under control.
No, it was definitely not under control. Yeah, this is really stressing me out this season. I cannot wait to get out of this car, if I'm honest. It's really hindering me. But I gotta say congratulations to Empava and John Boy. What a strategy. I did not even think to do wets. I knew there was rain coming, but if you're on pole position, you have to stick with the slick idea and just go and pit. I know how to do the pit strategy, I know how to do all that, but fair play to those two. They outsmarted me there, and I just had no answer to John Boy at the end.
You pull 30 to within 13 points now with Fury once again. You've got to come away a bit happier than last week with the fact you're back to 13 points within the championship.
Not really. I feel like I'm massively hindered in this car, which obviously most people know I chose this car, and also Matt bribed me into driving it. But I feel like I'm doing the Astra its justice as I can. I think I'm the leading non-Megane. So I'm happy in that sense, but the next couple of circuits aren't really favoured to the Astra. Silverstone National is not going to be good for this car. Maybe Brands Hatch GP I might be a bit better, but I'm hoping for Knockhill and rain again. So all I can do is just keep trying, use toes, and just hope and pray.
The Astra now, the only car to not win a race. Can you or DJ Phil get a race win in this car?
No.
Confident?
No, it's I could have won today, but I got out strategized. You know, there's always going to be something. If it was dry all the way through, Gary would have caught up. You know, him and that BMW, and especially around here, he's an animal around here. I don't know what it is about him around here, but they out strategized me. The rain I thought was going to be an equalizer, it wasn't. So you know, it didn't work. So I honestly don't see this car winning. Maybe not kill, but then again, the hairpin will slow it down.
Silverstone National then next week. What can you do around there?
You'll know, and most people will know, GT5 is what I'll do.
So we expect Dan to be quick then. Well done, Dan. We wish you the best of luck next week.
Cheers,
and we got John. We've got John Boy in as well, and we said off in the mid-session break, John Boy, in the interviews earlier, that it'd be nice if you could get a win. I bet you didn't expect to win.
Didn't expect the tyres to hold on like they did, and then it just comes in. I started seeing people peeling off into the pits. I knew I had to try and stay within that 30 to 35 second window if I was going to have a chance. And just sort of stayed out of trouble, battling with DJ Phil a couple of times and stuff like that. And I was just like, either try and get away from him and fix the tyres, or just sit back and just stay behind him. I didn't want to fight with anyone because that would just mess the strategy up altogether.
Indeed. Like you say, the tyres came to you when the wet weather came. Was there a worry at one stage that Dan might get on the back of you towards the end of that race?
Once everything had calmed down with pit stops and I could see who was where and who had what pace, me and Plav obviously were running around 1-2, and Dan quickly pulled onto the back of him and got past. So once he was clear of Plav, it was sort of trying to not make any mistakes for the last 4 minutes, 5 minutes of the race. I was able to be consistent.
First Mercedes driver to win this season. We go to Silverstone National next week. What can you do around there?
I think, I've got to take this round as pure loss. And, the car is not as good as yet, and the BMW around here. And I'm quite surprised really to come away from this round with a second in the win, so that's good for us. Silverstone probably going to be quite difficult again. Try and stay out of trouble. Just try and keep some of them points that I've lost in this round.
Well, we wish you the best of luck there. Congrats, by the way, to you and Dan for the fans' driver of the day in the YouTube poll. So you two get joint driver of the day from the fans. Jamie, your final words and your driver of the day.
My driver of the day has to go to John Boy. So that was a brilliant strategy in the last race, and got the win in the last one, got second place in the first one. So yeah, my vote goes to John Boy.
Final thoughts?
So it's been a brilliant night's worth of racing on my home track. So the rain has thrown it well and truly up. The championship is a lot closer. Fury's not had the best of nights, and his championship challenges have got that little bit closer to him.
Indeed they have. I'm going to go John Boy as well for driver of the day. A great night from himself, so a clean sweep in the commentators box. But you're right, Fury leads the way, 6 points from Cobbs, with Unorthodox and Jay within 20 points of them as well. But don't count out Nick the Villa, John Boy and Gary. They're within touching distance over that top 4. It will be the same top 4 to qualify and run 100 litres of fuel in race 1 next week. And we head to Silverstone National, so make sure you join us live next Tuesday, 8 p.m. BST for that one. But join Dan and myself in the commentary box tomorrow night. Kota is the destination. And what a tricky night the Pro-Ams face, and what a tricky night the Pros face at Cotra on Thursday night, where Dan Davis will be live with Jamie Brazier in the commentary box. And the final round of F1, Dan Davis will be bringing you that coverage from Abu Dhabi live on Sunday. Championships wrapped up, but a few places in the championship still up for grabs. And the Constructors' Championship. Can Ferrari get top 3? Can Jamie get above Mazda? Can Gary get above Green Pies? What will happen? Join Dan 7 p.m. BST Sunday night to find out that one. We'll be back though next Tuesday with the touring cars. From all of us here at Simplay Motorsport, take care. Good night.
Good night.
Dan Davis, do you know what it's worth?
I tell you what, I had the stream as like my little race engineer, and when I heard you say Gary was 13 seconds faster, and I was like, no way, he's gonna catch me.
That was 13 seconds faster than Jay, not you. Jay was lapping like 2 minute. No, Jay was lapping like 2 minute 20s or something.
Jay was on the dry tyres still.
By the way, Dan.
I heard.
And sorry, Jamie.
I heard it like John Boy.
I've had a text off Joe. Mate, if that gets investigated for that with Welshie, it's bullshit. Who breaks into turn 1 when it's flat?
Maybe because it's wet.
Wait, from Fury?
From Fury, Fury tapped Welshie off at turn 1, then Nick the Villa twatted Fury off as they both span. I don't know yet.
I brake for the first corner.
I brake for turn 1.
Fury reckons it was dry at the time. Fury reckons it's flat, and he says it'd be bullshit. So
driving reckless.
So
I was staying well away from him in that race.
Well done though, John Boy.
How many laps is Kota?
Kota is 14.
Okay. I'm fucked off that John Boy nicked the Astra win. That's fine. You two outsmarted me. I had my first ever fucking second first time not having to run the fucking 100 litres. I was like, yes, I can win. I can do this. And then all this shit happens, and you're like, for fuck's sake. Big crashes.
Yeah, big crashes for people. Also not having
Is that what happened?
I think so, yeah.
Right.
He said that he didn't have but then, like you say, you've got to set it up in the menu or something. Done the same. Should have always glitches.
You don't set it up in the menu. That's what I kept telling them, and they were like, no, that's how you do it. And I was like, no, it's not.
No. No, because sometimes it'll glitch you out.
So you set it up where you get rid of everything, right? So if you don't want engine damage, you don't want none of that, you get rid of it all, right? But you do set your pressures in there. That's all you do. So when you do come out on track, you pick up the D-pad and you put select wet, and it will give you the correct pressures.
Bastard.
But it won't do that weird glitch thing.
Oh, sake.
I've
always, when I've had changing condition pit stops, I've always selected it on the D-pad or on the up and down.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, and just select it there, and then when I'm trying to race, I know it's quite difficult, but if you pick it off the straight,
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's probably why I've never had that happen to me.
Oh, man.
When you try and change it, you feel like an F1 driver.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to look down, looking at what you're doing, and trying to see where you're at.
Luckily, Bentley Straight is long enough to fuck around with it.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And the first main straight, I guess.
Dan, have you seen the weather for Thursday?
Is it dry?
Is it raining?
There's a thunderstorm cloud. When I press on it, there's a thunderstorm cloud for 2 o'clock, but it's only 17% chance. So that's not going to rain. It's then thunder and lightning over 25% chance at 4, 5, 6, 7. So it would have rained. So it will just be sunny. Might be a bit cloudy for quali 2. Maybe cloudy to the end of race 1 or to the start of race 2. Whatever. Depends how Dan does it. But it will rain the minute race 2's finished. So it will still be fucking hot. I want that bit of rain.
In the first quali, it showed that there will be no rain, but it started to rain at the end.
Yeah, it only shows the first 2 weather slots when you set it up.
Ah,
so
you sneaky.
Yeah, so when if you set it up and you set it up for 3 or 4 weather slots, you can't see weather slot 3 or 4. So that's where the percentage thing, when we post the weather, the percentage thing really comes into play. If it's like 30 to 40, you know then that 3rd weather slot, because it might be a third of the 3 weather slots is basically a third of the race, each slot. So if it's 30 to 40%, one of them 3 slots will be rain. If it's 50% above, you know that there's 3-4 weather slots at least in place.
That's what I was trying to explain these boys.
It's all down to the percentages. If it's like 25 to 30%, it's probably going to be 1 weather slot which you'll be able to see, because it'll be one of the 2. Anything sort of 35 towards 50, you're looking at 3-4 weather slots, and you might not be able to see if there's rain there. Depending on, again, down to me, Dan, on GT3s and touring cars, our discretion of... So Dan for a Thursday night, me for Wednesday, Tuesday is... Right, I'll put rain at the end of here. They can't see that. So they've then got to prepare themselves to pit. Yeah. That's it. Which I kind of wish Project Cars had a sort of weather radar. But which would help, but it doesn't.
The thing is with that is that your strategy played really well because you got lucky that it was exactly, what was it, 50%?
Yeah, exactly 50%, yeah.
So your strategy worked because it was half of the race. If it was 30, if it was 3/4, yeah, you got incredibly lucky with the percentage. Yeah.
Well, your best time was a 2:02, so that, you know, and everybody else were running like 55s.
My best was a 1:55, yeah. How wide was my fucking Astra, though?
It was race 1. It was race 1, Jesus.
Cop was getting frustrated, I knew he was. I was getting fucking bumped left, right and centre all the fucking time. I was like, fuck's sake, fuck's sake.
Yeah, no, it's good at the minute. It's going well.
Daniel did make a big train in the first race.
Yeah. It was great. I learned all the lines. I practiced all the touring car lines. I knew exactly what Jason Plato would have done.
Oh, you Platoed everybody at that fucking hairpin, didn't you?
Yep.
I saw it. Mate Himovic style, that.
You know, I think Craig was in front of me throughout the corner. I get close to him, but when it was straight, he pulls away, and I was like, oh, come on, I can't get past him.
Dan, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How frustrated at that hairpin did you get? Because every time you seem to Plato somebody, they just seem to go bang up your chuff. Well, every time. And Plava did it, Cobb did it. It's like every time you braked, everybody seemed to hit your rear end.
Nick was like, why are you braking so early? Are you doing that on purpose? I was like, that's my braking point. That's how I get the car turned in. That's how I stop it. And then he's like, fuck off, is it? And I'm like, no, genuinely, that's how I have to stop the fucking car. The thing was, they just kept...
Yeah, hang on, just setting up tomorrow night.
Did you like my wiggle? Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, I was hoping you would drop it on the second race.
I did!
I saw you going sideways, I was like, oh, come on, spin around.
Race 2, I dropped it.
Hey, and I forgot to tell you, did you hear what Dan said last week on commentary in the GT3s? You should have drove into him tonight because of this, right? He turned around at race 1, and we started. You're behind me, and he went. We comes into turn 1 on lap 1, and he went. And Plava's going to be used to that view. He's been staring at the back of Mate Himovic all this time for last season as well, or something like that. And I thought, oh dear.
I know. I never said that.
I think I remember it now. But
I'd have rammed him. I'd have rammed him off Plava, to be fair.
Yeah, but then I would get a penalty.
Nah, I'd have looked to the other side. I'd have shook my shoulders at that.
Yeah, I'd have shut my eyes as well.
could have told me that earlier, you know.
But you know,
See,
for next
see if he says anything Thursday and see if he does it again, and then you can do him next week.
Well, he did run in the side of me, you know.
Get it in. Terrible.
No, but he gave the place back.
You're more than welcome. You are more than welcome to review it, but I fucking gave him the place back.
I know you even lost that to Craigie. We saw it on stream.
Dan, did you hit the wall at Brandon Nelson, or did Smokey hit you?
Yeah.
I dropped it on my own.
I wouldn't hit the wall because there was damage on your door.
Did Smokey hit you?
No, he never touched me.
So he had his own incident then?
He never touched me.
Because we saw you and Smokey start to tumble down the thing. We didn't know if you'd span and then he'd hit you.
No,
or
so
what?
is it just under the bridge?
Yeah.
Whatever that corner is, I don't know what the fuck.
Brundle Nelson.
Brundle Nelson. God.
I race one, right? I put one downforce on the rear, right? Thinking, oh, right, I need that just for the wet, you know? It was fucking dragging me. I could not go any faster. That's all I had, you know? And then I was like, fuck it. I'm going to get rid of it because I didn't have it in practice, so I'll get rid of it. I went up to Brundle and Nelson and the rear just went. I was just like, you fucker. It just went round and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, man.
If you didn't have that spin, just to say, you could have possibly have won race
I
two.
know, I fucking know. I already fucking know this.
Just want to point that one out there.
You can fucking point out as much as you like, mate. I know what I did. As soon as I fucking saw that Mercedes go down the road, the first thing I said, I shit you not, these guys will back me up. I went, John Boy, are you on fucking wets? And he went, yes, I am. And I was like, you fucking knob. At the same time, I was impressed, but at the same time, pissed off. So I was like, I didn't have Fury to bump me. I didn't have anyone to fucking push me out of the way. I managed to get Keeks in the pits because he decided to go in my pit box and not his.
I told you someone pulled off, Jamie.
Yeah. He was in my pit box thinking that it was his. He pulled away, and then I was just like, oh, okay, I'll jump him. Gary had an incident or something. I didn't repair any damage. Even though I had damage, I just didn't repair it. I just went in, tired, back out.
Gary got held. We think
thing,
Smoky Devil held Gary because all of a sudden he was in. Then all of a sudden his car had span. And we think because Smoky Devil's car was right next to Gary's, it was holding him. Yet we don't know what was happening with Smoky Devil's car.
Yeah, I was... I didn't know what the fuck was going on in most of that. I was just sat there just waiting to see who was where. I saw Jay carry on. I was like, that's fucking brave. And then I see M. Plava and John Boy go. And I was like, have all these fuckers gone on wets? Have they done a Gary? And I was like, no fucking way they have. And then I asked, and then fucking these two are off into the distance. Fuck!
No, Gary pitted for them.
Gary in the past has done that though. He's done like a race on wets, and he's gone and took the fucking win. I mean, I was enjoying the wets the other day.
Yeah, I was thinking the same before the race. If I want to gamble, then I have to go on one tire, and I thought it's easier to drive with wet tire on dry track than slicks on wet track.
Yeah.
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 So what's left? It's just Silverstone, Brands Hatch GP.
Silverstone, Brands Hatch GP, and then the top 12 at Knockhill, yeah. I think you're comfortably in that. You're 6th.
John, if I had known that you are doing the same as me, I wouldn't have let you pass that easily. I thought...
Dan's just pissed off out front, and everybody else is around you thinking, oh, they've all done the same strategy as me, it's not worked.
Yeah. And then I fucking drop it.
Brilliant.
Do you get what? Do you get what I meant about GT5s, Matt?
Yeah.
Alright, cool, sick. That's the only thing I can think of that's going to help.
Someone's getting T-boned. What he means is he cheated to win that championship. He T-boned me at the hairpin at Knock Hill, and absolutely disgraceful. But I was the bigger man and didn't put it in, you know. But yeah, fuck. If that's how he wants to win through cheating.
Do you know the other reason why he didn't put it in is because he jumped the start.
Whoa! Whoa!
Hill.
Hang on.
You and Little Leach passed half the fucking pack before you even got through the start-finish line.
Well, we did. What we did, John Boy, is the second race. Sorry, the first, because it was only one race. It was reverse championship order, so it used to be like a formation lap, everybody getting to order. Motive. And Daniel Francis had decided to get himself a drive-through penalty when he didn't even need to get a good start. So he's leading the pack away, comes into the pit lane and goes, right, I'm pulling into the pits. And then, like, I think Dean Wysocki was behind him. He slowed down. Me and D Biggs and Little Leach was like, what the fuck? So we just went, because we was pretty much at the line. Dan stayed in position and then caught me up and T-boned me the fucking cheat.
Well, he cheated, so I cheated, so I thought it was only fair.
No, a different Dan. No, a different Daniel. How do you get a drive-through when the first lap of the race is just a formation lap to get in position? Oh.
And it was a championship where you didn't need to do a race start at all. Like, we'd never...
Oh, we will be doing.
Mate, we're talking about... Tell John Boy what we're thinking about doing for the 8v8.
We're thinking of doing an 8v8 in the off-season when GT3s are done. Of 8 Pro-Am drivers in the GT5s and 8 Pro drivers. So mainly for the GT3 guys, but if there's a space come up, we might then look at the touring car drivers. 8 of the GT3 drivers in the G40 Junior, so the same car but 10 mile an hour slower. Have a bit of a fun race in some of them and see, you know, because the pro guys are meant to be the better guys, the quicker guys, because they're in that top division. They're hampered, they're handicapped. All default, so there's no setups involved, so the pro guys can't magic up a setup and be rapid. You know, all default setups and see what they do. I think it'd be quite a good sort of night.
So, where would you class the touring cars? Where would you put them?
So I'd class John Boy, Cobb, Fury, Jay, Nick the Villa, probably Craigie as pro.
Oh, okay, but me Pro-Am, because I've had to go down to Pro-Am next season.
Oh, no, well, it depends who's streaming it, doesn't it? Depends who's streaming it. If I didn't count you because I didn't know if you were streaming it or if you wanted to do it, because obviously it depends. We'll have to chat about it, me and you.
Do it.
But then obviously the likes of like Smokey Devil and Plava, they're pro anyway. Then you've got like Welshie, Keegs, Phil, Liam, Bryn.
I thought Keegs was going to get a win tonight. I couldn't catch him at one point.
66 races, still not won a race.
I thought I was going to win a race. Because I thought I was the only one.
I thought I was going to win the race.
I mean, we have basically the same car, so... you know.
Hey, N, wait till the touring car game comes out and you're stuck behind me in a Honda again.
Just in that case then, and just get an Infinity and bump him out of the way.
Yeah, that's Ash Sutton style, isn't it?
I like how the focus looks.
Yeah, the focus looks good.
You've been watching the touring cars, have you?
I follow them on TikTok, on Instagram.
Hey, nice.
Oh yeah, Matt.
Yeah.
Katie put to me earlier. She said, "Oh, you don't mind if I go to London with my friends? Not this weekend, but the following weekend." I'm just like, "When's Salton Park? Oh, it's that weekend. Yep, that's fine. Go."
Yep. See you in a bit. See you later. Yep. I can watch the racing in peace.
Jamie, did you see I was quite high on the points again?
Oh yeah, I did.
No, you wasn't.
Not like
that's a lie. Dan David was quite high on the points again.
Oh, fuck off, man. Do you know what? I fucking got the wrong drivers that time. I should have dumped fucking Plato and got fucking Who was up there? One of the
Rowbottom had a decent weekend.
Yeah, I should have fucking Rowbottom.
And I picked Plato over Rowbottom. What a prick.
So did I.
You got to pick the GOAT though, the greatest of all
I
time.
nearly picked Shetton.
No, I don't want to brag or anything, but I beat you all in Donington Park fantasy.
I don't like to brag, but I got first of the entire league.
No, again, Dan David did.
Fuck off.
And a championship isn't won or lost in round 1, 2, and 3. All right.
I got a shout out. They
No,
were that impressed.
Dan David got a shout out.
They were that impressed. They got my name wrong.
I want to find someone called Dan David, and I'm going to say, look, this is the guy that was quickest at Brands Indy, right? Not you, Dan David. Yep.
I remember when they did the Silverstone
I don't want to brag, but I'm ahead of Beth, even though I've done a round less than her.
Click on Beth's team and see how many drivers she's got.
Sorry, about 2.
Turkington and Shed. So to beat Beth this year, you could join halfway through and still beat Beth.
To be fair, I think I've nearly caught up with whoever's just in front of me.
I remember when we did the Silverstone Classic, you guys said it's like the Truxton layout, and I thought, okay, maybe just similar. But
you see what?
I saw the
Instagram
video, and no, I saw just the one lap.
Yeah, but it's very, very, very similar, isn't it?
The first corners, I was just like, is this really Truxton or Silverstone Classic?
It's the chicane at the end and everything makes it very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, like church. Yeah, exactly.
I once tried watching.
We've got Silverstone Classic coming up on GT3s as well.
The video didn't work.
They got a lot of shit tracks coming their way.
I don't know. Zolder. Oh, Cota's wank. Zolder's good. Silverstone Classic now. Spa. And Oscherslaben's back at season.
Still got it though.
Matt, you say about being ahead of Beth.
Yeah.
Keeks isn't ahead of Beth.
Keegs has probably picked Dexter Pattison and Aidan Moffat and Gordon Shedden. He's just gone with Scottish drivers. Let's be honest.
He's got Plato, Shedden, Gamble, Thompson, Moffat.
Well, how he's not winning, I don't know, because Plato's the GOAT.
That's Beth. I think who am I 500 off?
Donny GP next year.
Yeah.
Still fucked off at John Boy.
Oh, I'm 500 off you, M12.
I'm rewatching it right now and just fucking crying. I'm just watching that. I'm just re-watching that moment of you driving past and going, what? No! Fuck you! At this moment, he knew.
Right, I'm just going to pop to the toilet. Alright, buddy. Yeah, no worries. Take care, mate.
Yeah, see
you next week, buddy.
I remember you guys on the stream saying, what are these guys doing staying out, they're taking a big risk, and I was like, haha, little do you know, I have West Days on.
And then I was looking at yours, John Boy's and Jay's times. I looked at yours and John Boy's times, and I was like, nah, you're on the wet tyres. I looked at Jay, I was like, nah, he's on dry tyres. But I looked at your times, you were still like in the, I think you're doing a 206. I was like, nah, they're still wet, they're on wet tyres.
Oh, fucking hell. I'm so tempted just to not finish in the top 4 each race and just finish 5th.
For God's sake.
Your friends here, though? They're your friends. They're cunts. All of them. I
every single one of them. And when I outlive one of them, they bring a new cunt in to take their place.
Your friends here, though. Oh, it's a fun immigration game for 5 to 8 year olds. Yeah, it's very simple. This white figure here is an immigration officer.
Oh
and you're
my
one of
God.
these halls of black, brown and yellow figures. And the object of the game is to gain unlawful access into the United Kingdom of Great Britain. So, we roll the dice. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick a card.